I'm okay, Madam.
It is, hello, Sean. It
Madam
is-
President,
Hi. It is exactly 6:33. I'm calling the meeting to order, Maryville Plan Commission meeting. This is Tuesday, February 18, 2025, 6:33. Okay, we will all stand and pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Secretary Chris Mellon, would you please take the roll call?
Mr. Rich is absent. Mr. Swike?
Here.
Ms. Chandler Felton?
Present.
Mr. Pettit?
here.
I myself am here. Vice President Daring?
Here.
And Madam Chairman Uzelak.
Present. Thank you.
6, we have a quorum.
So we have a quorum, we will continue on with the meeting. Oh, this was our roll call. Now, tonight, we are having our election of the officers for the Plan Commission. Do I hear any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Marge Uzelak to be the chairman of the Plan Commission.
Thank you.
I would second that motion.
Thank you, Jeff. We have a nomination on the floor from Chris Mellon nominating me, and Jeff second that nomination for Margaret Uselak for president of the Plan Commission or chairman. Okay, do I have to take a roll call vote, Ricardo?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, would you please take the roll call vote?
Mr. Swike?
Yes.
Ms. Chandler Felton?
Aye.
Mr. Pettit?
Aye.
I myself am an aye. Vice President Daring?
Yes.
And there you go, Madam Chairman.
Well, you didn't ask me.
Well,
Okay, aye.
congratulations.
Okay, thank you. I am now your chairman again. Thank you all. Okay, continuing on with the nominations, please.
Madam President, I'll nominate Brian Deering as Vice President.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay. Roll call vote. Roll call
Mr.
vote.
Swike?
Aye.
Ms. Chandler Felton?
Aye.
Mr. Pettit?
Aye.
I myself am an aye. Vice President Daring?
Yes.
And Madam Chairman Uzelak.
Aye.
That's 6 ayes.
Okay, 6 ayes. Brian, you are now the vice president again.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, you are quite welcome. Okay, now we need the nomination for the secretary of the board.
I'd like to nominate Chris Mellon to retain his seat as Secretary of the Plan Commission.
Very good. Okay, do we have a second?
I second the motion.
Very good. We have a second. We have a nomination and a second for the secretary. Please take the roll call vote, Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Swike?
Aye.
Ms. Chandler Felton?
Aye.
Mr. Pettit?
Aye.
I myself am an aye. Vice President Daring?
Yes.
And Madam Chairman Uzelak.
Aye.
6 ayes.
Okay, Mr. Mallon, you are the secretary again. And thank you
Thank you.
for attending. Okay, we will continue on with our agenda. The minutes of, I need a motion for the minutes of December 19th, 24, and January 7th, 25.
I'd like to move that we accept both minutes as presented for December 19th of 24 and January 7th of 25.
Okay, motion on the floor by Brian Deering to accept the minutes of December 19th, 24, January 7th, 25. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Jeff Swike to
No, that
No,
accept.
Leona.
Look
Oh,
up,
I'm
honey.
sorry. Leona, I was-
There's something on that side of the dais. It happens at the council meetings too.
I know. Okay, Leona, you seconded. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Okay, the minutes have been accepted.
Now,
Do
all
we need a
those-
roll call vote?
I think that could be acclamation.
He said yes. Roll call vote, Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Swike?
Aye.
Ms. Chandler Felton?
Aye.
Mr. Pettit?
Aye.
I myself am an aye. Vice President Daring?
Yes.
And Madam Chairman Uzelak.
Yes.
6 yeses.
Okay, the minutes have been accepted. Okay, we have no communications that I know of. I don't have any. Does anybody on the board have any communications at all tonight? No communications? I will continue on. I have no comment except Happy New Year to everybody, and I hope we go forward this year, and I'm sure we will. With all of the building going on, Maryville is really prospering. Okay, so that's my comment. Any old business? Any new business? None? I will continue with item 1, ordinance 25-02, an ordinance to amend section SS 6-294 Maryville Municipal Code relating to reestablishing the impact fee for park infrastructure, repealing all ordinance in conflict therewith, all pursuant to Indiana Code 36-7-4-1, no, I'm sorry, -1300 ETSEQ. Okay, where we at with this ordinance now? Any comments?
We could get staff or possibly legal to summarize any of the changes to the previous ordinance.
Okay, I think what we could do, Sheila could give us a gist of the ordinance 2502, but not read it all.
We're going to hear from,
Madam President, if you will allow, I beg
Oh,
your
I didn't
pardon.
see, I'm sorry.
I love to hear our building and planning director
I was-
speak, always.
I was going to defer.
Yes, but we actually have Tagia Shami here. He was the person that we engaged to help us with this process. He's actually working on the park master plan as well. This is actually a legally advertised public hearing for this
Yes.
potential change. And I think it would be in order to have him do the presentation, much like Vice President Deering asked for, and inform you. And I'm going to get out of his way because I'm going to tell you more than I know if I stay up here.
Okay, will you please introduce yourself before you go on?
Yes. Good evening, Madam Chairwoman, as well as the members of the Plan Commission. My name is Taghi Arshami. I'm a principal of the planning firm Arsh Group right here in Maryville. And we have been preparing these impact fee reports for the last 20 years. This is the fifth one that we have started. It's a special type of program that is allowed by the state. And you have received in your packet a short handout. And as you suggested, I'm not going to take too much of your time reading it. There is a lot of information in there. The report has to be prepared with certain criteria and certain procedures that is outlined by the state law, and that's how we have prepared the current report. And your responsibility in this process includes certifying preparation of the impact fee as it is considered a land use matter. And as such, it is related to the comprehensive plan. And in your ordinance, you're in effect certifying that, yes, the town comprehensive plan, this action is consistent with the town's comprehensive plan, as it has been in the past for the last 20 years. What you may consider this time, this round, is that the fee has increased a little bit, and that is primarily due to partially your effort as well as the council's, and due to the community center, the rec center that was built, improved the assets of the town. And as such, the town currently, based on for this plan, has over $27 million of assets. We have worked with the city engineer, with Ms. Shine, and they have provided significant assistance and information to us, as well as we working with the advisory committee that the town council has put together or appointed in August, and we have been working since then. the next step for this process, once you certify that this plan is consistent with the comprehensive plan, it'll go to the city council, town council, and they will have the final approval or adoption responsibility. In the handout, if you like, probably the most interesting part of it shows the progression of this fee over the last 15 years that changed from $475 to recommended today as $1,582. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Attorney Ricardo, any questions or comments?
Not at this time. It seems as though the gentleman has adequately summarized the agenda item.
So it seems that he has everything in order. Board members, any comments or questions? Jeff Swyk,
No, not
Nothing?
right now.
Leona,
No, nothing at this time.
Brian?
Besides and this is more for legal, besides the increase in the fees,
Yes.
the way that I've read this is that it will, if we vote to send this on, it goes to the town council.
Right.
If the town council adopts it, then it will go into effect at the end of March.
Correct.
For a period of 5 years, at which time a review is done and any increases like this, unless it's, at such time it is found that we need to have an emergency amendment to the ordinance.
That's what I wanted to ask, Brian, because I don't believe that's accurate, Tagi. It's actually, Sheila cannot start charging these until 6 months after the council adopts it. Is that correct?
correct. That's
Because I was going to ask, there's a highlighted section in here, Brian, on page 3, Tagi,
Yeah.
that says
I
these
see it.
fees will remain in effect until March 31st
Right.
of 2025. So when someone comes in to get a residential permit from Sheila in June, she's still going to charge them the old fee, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
I beg the commission's pardon. Madam President, may I speak?
Yes, please do,
I'll
Mike.
get near a microphone though, so Craig doesn't get mad at me. We just didn't get, I came on, as you know, in September of last year, of 2023, excuse me, and we just didn't know about the overlap or the timing on this, so there will be some months it won't be in effect. So these fees will end in March, and the reason why that language is in that ordinance is that we did change some of the existing text for the existing fees through the end of March. Then there'll be a period that, presuming that the council takes this up at their next meeting in February, 6 months from that time, then we can charge. So there will be a period of time that the building department will not be able to charge any of these fees to builders. That was the other thing I wanted to make clear. This doesn't impose a new fee on existing homeowners at all. That should be made clear. It's really paid by the developer who's doing the new residences in
Okay.
consequence of the construction. And it's unfortunate that we're gonna miss a significant part of the construction season, but the law's the law.
Yeah.
And we just weren't able to get, actually, I thought that Tagi did an outstanding job with the commission. Mr. Zaney was a member of the advisory committee, and they did as much as they could. They got as rapidly forward as possible. However, we're bound by the process, so, and I beg the commission's pardon. Thank you for letting me speak on that. Thank you, Tagi.
You're welcome.
Okay, so then getting back and elaborating on that, in section C on page 3, then, I would recommend that if we make a motion to approve this, that we change the language to these existing fees will remain in force and effect until March 31st, 2025, pursuant to Indiana Code 3674-1340, subsection B. And did I hear it correctly? It will remain in effect for 6 months after that date until the new fees take effect? Or would they take effect after March? I want to make sure we're clear on this.
It will take effect from 6 months from the time that the council adopts the ordinance.
But I guess the question, Tagi and Michael, is from April 1st until, if my math is right, we're in the second month, it's going to be sometime in August. So from April 1st until sometime in August, we will not be charging impact fees
There
in
will
the
be a
town of Maryville.
lapse. There will be a lapse, yes.
There will be a void, Brian, that you will not charge
Right.
that fee.
Right.
If somebody comes in
And that will be-
tomorrow to Sheila and asks for a residential building permit, she's going to charge them the old fee.
Okay,
So she'll charge them the old fee until March 31st, 2025, and then no fee until August. Correct?
That's correct.
so would it be no fee or
Charge a fee now.
the old fee?
Until March 31st.
Right.
But then there will be no fee
No
from
fee.
March
That's correct.
31st till the end of August.
That's correct.
Madam President,
Yes.
This current,
statute makes
Wait,
it very
one moment.
clear
What,
that
Michael?
The life of the fees, the impact fees are a five-year life from adoption.
right.
Okay, after the town
When
council.
expires on our March date, that's it. And because we didn't have the ability to, if we had known this, we could have actually taken this ordinance up at the end of last year, and we'd have been fine. We could have actually had one expire and the new one start. We just had this lapse in between. We felt we needed to get new fees.
Sure.
As Tagi will evidence to you, the fees are considerably higher than the old ones, in part because we have a lot of new assets for which we can get value, including the Dean and Barbara White Community Center. It just is an unfortunate component of, it's an unfortunate element of that law that we have to adhere to. Mm-hmm. So after
no
March,
fee.
Okay,
we can't
after
start-
March.
So then-
We will give her that specific date based on the council's action at its next meeting.
So then again, if we make a motion to approve, I would say that we should add that the existing fees will remain in force and effect until March 31st, 2025 pursuant to Indiana Code, which is what is required by law, 5 years from the date of the last adoption. At which time should we add a subsection D that the new fees will take effect 6 months after passage of the ordinance?
Correct.
Okay, so everybody,
Okay, wait
Go
one
ahead.
second. Are you agreeable, Attorney Ricardo?
Yes, that's.
Everything's fine with
Is
you?
that a necessary amendment? We're amending the existing code. Under section 2, we're taking up the new fees.
Yeah.
And I believe that, we referenced the date in which they can become in effect under section 4 of the regular part of the ordinance. It is language to instruct when we implement, it doesn't amend the code. And it references 3674, 607 subdivision B.
got it,
It's in there, Brian.
That references the 6 months.
4A is in there.
got it. 4A
Yeah.
and 4B,
Thank you,
and that's
Michael.
pursuant to Indiana Code 3674,
That'll cover us.
607, subsection E. So that'll cover the 6-month, gap.
It's just not included in the text of the code.
Got it.
But it instructs us about when we can start charging that new section.
So for 6 months, then they're gonna be,
So for the 6 months after
There's no
adoption, there will
charge.
be no fee, but, and again, I would recommend the existing fee be added instead of just the fee. That might get, somebody could take umbrage with it, make it a little vague. So can we then legally amend this in, in section C, that the existing fees will remain in force?
What do you think, Mr. Ricardo? Can we amend that?
Just say.
That
Just add that one word.
the one word, the
Existing.
existing.
Instead of
existing
the
fee.
fees, it'll be the existing.
Instead of the fees,
Yes,
it'll be
yes, that's-
existing.
that's-
But remember,
That's
folks,
proper?
it's gonna stop March 31st. So if we
Right.
wanna add
Yeah.
existing, that's fine.
Right.
But this is dropping off March 31st.
And it will
Maybe
leave
nothing
everything
going
else.
till
Yeah, leave
Middle of
everything else.
August, we're not
Yeah.
collecting any fees.
Right.
and that's what,
Very good, sir.
there's gonna be a bum rush.
That's all
Okay.
I've got, Madam Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Does the board have any more
No.
comments?
Chris
Chris,
and Sean.
Mellon?
No,
Ron?
nothing at this
No,
time.
I think we all jointly kinda,
Covered it?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Okay, in that case, could I have a motion to approve ordinance number 25-02 of the town of Maryville, Indiana, with the phrase.
Madam
statement,
President?
Existing fees.
This, I believe this is a public hearing on this ordinance.
Yes.
I
But
don't know
under
if there's any-
Robert's rules, Sean, we can make the main motion and then open the public.
Okay,
Okay. Okay, is there a motion to approve what I just read?
so moved.
Second,
Okay, motion on the floor by Mr. Sean Pettit, seconded by Leona Haynes, and
not Haynes,
these names, Leona what?
Chandler Felton.
Leona Chandler Felton. Okay, I think I got it now, Leona.
Okay, I know.
Okay, so, what about it, Ricardo? Can we have a motion? We had the motion, take the vote.
And no,
Mr.
now we'd open
Secretary?
it for public.
Does he take the vote first, then we open it to
No.
the
No.
public?
We need public comment.
Okay, public comment, please.
Okay, we're opening the public meeting. Under Indiana statutes, all members of the public are encouraged to remonstrate for or against this motion. The town has set a time limit as approved by Indiana code of 3 minutes. Time consideration. A member of the board can make a motion to extend that period. No time for one person can be given to a second person. So you cannot have one person speaking for 20 minutes by other people giving up their time. We have set the length of time by which each person, to conclude, you will be given a few seconds to wrap up your thought. The time limit total can be set, but I don't think we have to worry about 100 people stepping up to comment. These are written guidelines not only from the state of Indiana, Robert's Rules of Order, but Town of Maryville ordinance accepting Robert's Rules of Order and Indiana Planning Code. We require all speakers to address their remarks to the chair. At any meeting, it is always encouraged that you speak to the chair only. All speakers are required to adhere to the time limit. The chair thanks and the commission thanks all interested parties. We can choose to respond or not. These do not have to be added into the minutes of the meeting. They can be noted down as public comment period. Council members will not interrupt. If there are questions during the comment period, the chair can turn to staff, Tagi, any other interested parties, or legal to answer the question. That can pause the 3-minute limit. Members of the public has the right to make critical comments for or against the ordinance. Members of the public do not have the right to disrupt the meeting or make personal attacks or bring up past grievances. This is a limited public forum. This is not a state-required monthly public forum where anybody can get up and speak as a free-for-all. Comments from the crowd will not be tolerated, again, per Indiana code. We may prohibit demonstrations, booing, hissing, catcalling from the crowd. If anybody has any questions about this, feel free. This is a very extensive set of guidelines that you can find at the Indiana Plan Commission website under meeting rules, or the State of Indiana website governing rules of cities, towns, boards.
Thank you, Brian.
And there are hundreds of pages should you choose to read
Okay,
them.
now that Brian has read what should be done and what is the code for the speakers, do we have anybody here that wants to get up and speak? Please state your name and address, and you have exactly about 3 minutes, okay?
My name is Brian Messart. My address is on that piece of paper. And since this is broadcast
Please
on,
speak it for the public record.
what's that?
Speak up, Brian.
I know I'm interrupting you for a moment. You have to speak it for the public record. All meetings are recorded.
I will not give my address. It's written down. You know where I live.
Yes, I do.
Oh, and by the way, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Chair, the Vice President misspoke because we had somebody catcalling Mr. Griffin earlier. Well, he was not asked to speak. If you're going to apply the rules to everybody.
They are applied uniformly to every person. A member of staff can speak at any time.
Oh, gotcha.
Read Indiana code.
I read the 14th Amendment with due process.
Has nothing to do with the 14th Amendment. This is a limited public forum. Per state of Indiana rules, you have to be governed by those rules. We give all people equal time to speak for or against. Members of staff can make comment when asked, do we have clarification? We asked for clarification. He gave clarification. You now have 3 minutes.
Please speak, Brian.
Do we have a guesstimate for the amount of money that may be lost in the interim from April 1st to the end of August or September? How much money will be lost to new construction that will not pay the impact fee?
Well, with that question coming in, we don't answer questions.
Yep.
Yeah,
You have to make your
That's what
statement,
I
then
was
we
going
can
to
ask
say.
staff to clarify your
After
questions.
the meeting, we will be talking with Sheila Shine. You can talk to her. But we do not answer questions during the meeting, okay? But Sheila is available to answer after the meeting.
If this is the planning committee, somebody should have been responsible for making sure that this whole thing with the impact fee was taken care of in a timely manner so that there was not any sort of gap whatsoever. And if this costs us a couple $1,000s, tens of thousands of dollars, or hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's really kind of unacceptable. Somebody should be accountable and responsible for this. This is the sorts of things when the town wants to raise our taxes on residents, and then we're missing out on this sort of money. It's unacceptable.
Thank you for your comment. Is there anybody else that wishes to speak publicly? Anybody else wishes to speak publicly? Anybody else, my third time, wishes to speak publicly? Hearing none, we will continue on. We have a motion on the floor, and we need a roll call vote on the motion in the second. Mr. Secretary, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Schweik,
Aye.
Ms. Chandler Felton,
Aye.
Mr. Pettit,
Aye.
I myself am an aye. Vice President Daring,
Yes?
Madam Chairman Uselak,
Aye.
6 yeses.
6 yeses, and it looks like the ordinance number 2502 of the town of Maryville has been approved by the board. Thank you all. Continuing on with the agenda, we have item 2. This is P1VPA 1-0225. Jonathan Spinozola, petitioner and Webb Hyundai Maryville owner, located at 1000 West 81st Avenue. His request, a vacation of plat of amendments from section 19-210 on 0.109 acres in a C3 highway commercial zoning district. Purpose, to remove a portion of the vacated 80th Avenue that was included on the plat that should not have been. Now, I know we discussed this at the workshop. Who is here to represent Hyundai?
Madam President, Attorney Jim Weezer is going to represent Hyundai this evening.
Okay, very good, Mr. Weezer. Identify yourself, please.
Good evening, members of the Planning Commission, Madam Chairperson. My name is Jim Weezer. I'm an attorney located in Cherville, Indiana at 429 West Lincoln Highway. And I've been for some time now, or a bit of time now, representing Webb Hyundai. And also I'm representing Jonathan as well. I'm glad you made an attempt at his last name. I just call him Jonathan the Pizza Guy, so I can't say that last Italian name. So it's as Sheila knows, because we've been talking about it. It's sort of a convoluted story. I can boil it down, I think, pretty easily, and I have a document that I supplied Sheila with, and I have copies here, Sheila, if we need to have original type copies, an instrument to correct what occurred, and then there will also be a deed that's going to be recorded. The Webb Hyundai owns the property on Tyler Street, right on 30, and they have there's adjoining property owners to the east, and they're here tonight, the adjoining property owners, and during a series of transactions with the property, which included deeds as well as a vacation of roadway, because of language that was in a deed that was from 2020, or I'm sorry, from the plat that was recorded, the Webb Hyundai plat that was recorded in 2022, there was language pulled out of the ordinance back in 1991 that was used to acquire or ask for property for a roadway that was going to be put in to the north of their property, both properties, but never was. And the language in that plat indicates that the whole roadway was included in the subdivision. And that simply isn't the case. There's a length of roadway, part of that roadway, 158 by 30, I think, 158 by 30 feet, actually belongs to the adjoining property owners. And it wasn't recorded that way, and it wasn't picked up that way. And what we're here for is simply to correct it tonight and to show that that portion, which was part of the roadway that was never put in, it was property to the north, that 158 by 30 feet should in fact be removed from the plat, should be vacated, as that's what we're asking for. And when it is vacated by Indiana law, it will go back to the property owner, and it will be their property henceforth. And we also, Pat Schuster represents them. Pat and I have worked on a deed that we have to further clarify what the issue is here, because the deed will be a lot easier to read, and it's filed in conjunction with re-recording the plat, or the Mylar, and that should clean it all up. I know that's clear as mud. It took me about 3-4 times to read through the whole thing to understand what the original issue was, but this will in fact resolve any any question or dispute, and the property, that portion of the property, will go back to the rightful owners and will be part of their land.
Do you know the rightful owner's name at this time, Jim?
You know, because I just had your corporate name. I know they've signed in, and I don't know their names. I know their
Okay.
corporate name.
Well, I
but-
know it was a woman that came forward to.
Yeah, they're right here.
Yeah.
They're
Oh.
back here. I chatted with them briefly before the meeting.
Okay, would you stand and identify yourself as the rightful owner?
Matt?
Yeah, you have to speak into the microphone, please.
Okay, please. Okay, you are the rightful owner of the plat that has to be vacated.
Yes,
Okay, and what was your name?
Lorraine Jokes.
Thank you. Ed?
Nathaniel Jokes.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we did discuss all of this at a workshop. I see Mr. Weiser is here now to represent Hyundai, and I'm sure the plat will be recorded the right way, correct, Jim?
It will be.
And where are they recording it? At the recorders?
Right. As soon as it's signed and notarized and it's all prepared, we'll take it to the county recorder's office, to the auditor, then the recorder, and have it
Okay.
properly recorded.
Has to come through Maryville Planning Department first, then you're gonna take it to the recorders?
Yes, we've
Okay.
talked to Sheila, yes.
Very good. Okay, what does the board have to say? Any comments?
Do
Mr.
you want to
Scott?
have,
I agree with the move. I think that would be a good idea.
Leona?
I agree as well.
and this is your ward, Leona.
Yeah, this is your word, Leona.
That's fine.
Fine.
I'm aware.
Brian Derry? Vice
Okay,
President?
just so we're all on the same page, because the drawing is, shows one thing, the satellite view shows something else, and if you stop out to see the property, it's even a little bit different because this is an older satellite view. You have the main Webb Hyundai complex, where a road's leading in and out. There is a building behind it with 4 bays. I believe that also belongs to Webb Hyundai. And then there is a third building before you get to the apartments that I believe is your building, ma'am? Yes. Okay. There is one road shown coming off of Tyler Street, running to the west and feeding your parking lot. Is that the road we're talking about, or is there an unrealized road approved in between the end of Hyundai going north to your property? Is that what we're talking about? Or did they get the road that you've already got on the north side of your property? Anybody?
Yeah, it's actually not a road, Mr. Deering. It was an easement that was planned as a future road that was never developed.
Okay, so it's the unrealized, so we're talking, you've got the Hyundai maintenance building, for lack of a better term, and then we've got your property just north of that before you get to the apartments. This is an easement that runs between those two pieces of property, correct? Okay.
Well, here's
Yeah,
the
that's,
con-
it's,
Here's the confusing thing, Jim, having lived out there, as I told you before the meeting
Right.
started, I rented a condominium from June and Don Troxel.
Right.
And I lived out there. Tyler Circle is what we would pull into, and then you can see that there are garages. So every condo in that one building has a garage. But right below that, Brian, on Google Earth,
Right.
there's another Tyler Circle, which is the brown roofed building that is identified as Laura Leanna's Adult Daycare. That's the building,
That's the
Jelks,
building,
that's the
okay.
building you own. And then south of there, you're talking about the Hyundai that has like a black roof.
Right, a maintenance building, I think, for lack of a.
Well,
better
there's
term.
also a Joyous Look Hair Salon that's identified. Is that ringing a bell, folks?
Yes, that's the building to our south.
To your south, okay. All on the west side of Tyler Street.
Right.
So,
that's right.
I'm a little, I don't know.
Well, now I'm
We
a
got
little
two Tyler,
confused.
we got two Tyler Circles now
Right.
in
Who
there.
owns the hair salon?
I don't know. I don't know if
Is
the
that,
joke's on.
is that building involved with the
ma'am.
Joneses?
No, ma'am.
No,
No.
So are we saying there is another owner in that area?
no,
No, that would
We're-
be south of their building.
yeah,
Okay.
no.
Oh, okay, so that's south of their building.
There-
So this is the easement to the south of the building that you own and north of the building
Hyundai.
that Hyundai owns.
Hyundai owns.
The building that we own is, north.
Right.
The easement is
Correct.
north of our building.
Right.
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 Oh, okay. So it is that easement that looks like a driveway to your parking lot, for
It
lack
is.
of a better term.
It is.
Right.
Okay, and that's what we're vacating, is anything that would involve your immediate property around your immediate building. It would go back to the boundaries set when that building was built back in the early 90s.
Which will solve the problem, commission members, of having two Tyler Circles. Now, my question to, specifically, I guess, to Bob and maybe Jim, we're vacating what is Tyler Circle? Is this a right-of-way, or is this
No.
private property?
It's never been developed as public property.
All right, then I turn to Ricardo, no offense,
it's-
Jim, I turn to Ricardo. Is this a vacation that's gonna come to the town council?
Yes.
It will
Yes,
come to
oh,
the
yeah.
council?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry, I probably should have said
Yeah,
that,
there's
Sean.
another
It'll come
step
to the
in
town
there.
council.
Right.
Correct.
Right,
Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong. I think what brought this issue up to begin with from our workshop, Hyundai was parking cars over there on your part of the plat, on your property, Mr. and Mrs. Jones?
Yes,
Okay, this is what started the whole procedure, from what I remember from the workshop. The cars were being parked on your property, and they should not have been there. And
Yeah,
here
the-
we are, we're gonna vacate that plat now, that part of
Correct,
the land.
because it was, if you read the plat, it was recorded as Webb Hyundai property, but that was incorrect. It was their property, or it should have been their property. It was improperly recorded that way.
Gotcha.
And that's why Webb Hyundai was using it. Then it was discovered, when a survey was done, that that was wrong.
Okay, so then germane to Mr. Pettit's comment, if you look at the original overlay and also verify with the post office, Tyler Street is what comes in running north and south in between the property in question and Leaps. Then there is a Tyler Circle that runs to the west that is part of the apartment complex, and where the road jogs going back to the condos back there, it becomes Harrison Place,
yep.
okay?
Yeah, I'm looking
So
at the
that
same
it will basically negate two Tyler Circles. Tyler Circle will remain on the property of the condos and the garages. Tyler Street will remain Tyler Street, running north and south, and basically their property will have an unnamed road, and you'd still use whatever address you are currently using.
Right, that's correct.
Okay.
So now, do we have everything in order on this so far, Mr. Ricardo?
It appears so. All parties to the matter are represented either in person or by counsel. And I think it's the amendment that they're asking for, it's fairly straightforward.
Do we want to have Sheila read her staff report into the record, Madam
I would
President?
like to make one last, or ask one last question. Does this satisfy the people involved? Not so much Hyundai. Does this satisfy the property owners that their rights have been protected by the town of Maryville? That's my biggest concern. Will you be satisfied with this solution? Okay.
Both of you,
Just
give
so
us
we
your
have-
answer, both
Just
of
so
you.
we have a clear record, we might want to make sure we have that on the record.
Here, you want to stand up?
Okay,
Okay, we have that on the record.
Yeah, you have to get it in the
okay.
microphone.
Okay,
Have them speak.
Yeah, then I'll ask the
Wait,
question
he wants to
again.
give his,
Yeah, this will satisfy any claim that you have and that against Webb Hyundai, the town of Maryville, and that we have protected your rights as property owners in the town, and that this is the best and highest solution to this problem of the mistake that was made when Webb Hyundai extended their property.
Okay, yes, sir, but we would like to find out about the plaque that was put up telling about the pond and where it's located, right off to the back, you don't understand, right to the back of our property. When you come off into our property, to your left, if you look straight ahead, they have a plaque saying it's a pond and everything else, this road's not to be blocked and everything like this. And we wanted to find out about, since the pond was put back there, is there anything that they actually can do, like to, like put a fence up against? Because, you know, with the establishment and the building that we have, we take care of the elderly and everything like that. We don't want anybody wandering off into,
Gotcha. So you're talking about the drainage pond
Yes,
that
sir.
is behind their parking lot that was part of their purchase
yes, sir,
that they have to maintain?
yes, sir.
well, that would be up to Mr. Weezer.
Yeah, now that's
to
something that you would take up with
Yeah,
Mr.
that-
Weezer again.
Mr. Weezer's the attorney here.
As a,
And we don't know if Hyundai wants to put up a fence or
Right,
not.
right.
But that is their prerogative
Yes, sir.
with Mr. Weezer. Okay,
Yes,
Jim?
ma'am.
Okay, is everything settled here, guys?
Okay, so
Board
both,
members.
both of you are saying that you will be satisfied that this will solve, the fence, albeit, that's another issue. This will solve the misplatting of this property.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're happy with, as long as you're happy, I'm happy.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
need to then, right?
Okay.
Okay, at this
Staff
time,
report.
Ms. Shine, do you want to give a staff report, please?
Yes, petitioner is requesting to vacate a portion of Lot 1 in Webb Hyundai Maryville subdivision that was recorded in June 9, 2022 as document 2022018869 in the town of Maryville as per plat thereof recorded in Book 115, page 90. Due to the ambiguity in the recorded legal description for the Webb Hyundai Maryville subdivision, a portion of vacated 80th Avenue was included that should not have been. Petitioner would like to remove it and revise plat.
Thank you, Ms. Shine. Okay, board members, what is your pleasure at this
You
time?
have a motion and a
Do
second?
we have a motion?
No, we do. I'd like to move that we accept case number 1 PVPA 1-0225.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Daring, seconded by Chris Mellon. Could we have a roll call vote, please, Mr. Mellon?
Mr. Swike,
Aye.
Ms. Chandler Felton,
Aye.
Mr. Pettit.
Aye.
I myself am an aye. Vice President Daring
Yes?
and Madam Chairman Uzelak.
Aye.
6 yeses.
Motion passed with 6 yeses. Thank you.
Thanks,
you
folks.
all for
Thank you very
attending.
much. We
Really
appreciate it.
appreciate it.
This plat will be made again, I believe, through Sheila somehow. Maybe Jim could work with the planning department. They requested to have a corrected plat.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that, and we also, it has to go to, as Sean pointed out before, it's gonna have to come up to the town council, Marge, for your
It'll come
approvals as
before
well.
the
Yeah.
council.
And then it would be signed by the plan commission as all other plats?
Sure.
So it'll,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Madam President, I
Yes.
have one item for the membership, if they are so inclined. Our first petition was on the park impact fee ordinance, and I think Michael alluded to, and Tagi alluded to, that we are still doing our 5-year, as you're on the committee with me. The 5-year Park and Recreation Master Plan. We're going to have a meeting at 6 o'clock Thursday night at the Dean and Barbara White Community Center inside the Mike Anderson, one of the rooms, where Tagi will present,
Yeah.
I believe, the draft. I received a survey, Leona, I think you and Margie, did you get that email about taking the survey?
I saw
You may
the
want to check
survey.
your
I saw the
emails.
email, but I
He had
did not
sent it
see the
to-
survey.
Michael, did he send it, who did Tagi send that survey to?
He sent it to me and a few others to distribute.
Okay.
I also have a paper one as well, so I did send it out to the council already. I'll send it to department heads, and I believe that Mr. Riley, Madam President, I beg your pardon.
That's okay.
Yeah, could you recognize
I
staff,
am
please?
recognizing you. Go.
Yes, and I needed your permission before I responded to one of my bosses.
Okay, you have my
The
permission.
impulse to respond to a boss overcame me.
Okay.
Do you,
Madam President, we do intend to send those.
your comments,
Oh, that's right, you want me over here?
Yep. Thanks, Greg. Keeps us honest.
I beg the commission's pardon. Madam President, we did send it out, and Councilman, we did send it out to all the council members. Our intention is to have Mr. Riley get it also into our social media as well as our website. And then we'll have another conversation about other ways to get that link out, because we do think that that will be easier for people to respond through. And part of that discussion will take place, I hope, at the Dean and Barbara White Community Center and Parks Committee meeting.
I need the survey because I saw the email but didn't see the survey attached.
Madam President, if I may respond to the commissioner, did you get the link at all?
I didn't get a link that I
Okay.
recall.
I'll say this. I have found that is, Madam President, it's been my difficulty because I actually now have a combined, in the new Microsoft 360, I have a combined email so I can do a broadcast to the council all at once and not enter your names again. Yours has bounced back a couple of times. I think one of your email addresses doesn't like that for some reason. So I'm going to
That may
send
be
it
the
again
reason
to
why I
you
didn't.
directly with that information.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam President.
Yes, thank you, Madam
You're
President.
welcome.
Madam President, if I
Yes.
may,
Yeah.
going on the same thing, could we, as a plan commission, and unfortunately, with the situation with my wife, I won't be able to come to the park meeting Thursday. What I would appreciate is that we, as a plan commission, support everything we can do to keep the parks rolling here in town. That we try to keep going our Tree City USA designation, that we try and preserve as many of the old-growth trees that are still in evidence in town, whether it be in a park or on land that we own. If we can just support that, that would be basically what I would bring to the table at that meeting, Sean. So,
Okay.
I mean, if you're all in agreement, I can make an incidental motion.
Are you talking about the local parks with the Dean and Barbara
The
White
local,
Center?
all the local parks,
the
all of
local
the
parks.
town property, that we try and preserve as much of the heritage trees, for lack of a better term, in the town of Maryville.
Well, I think Steve King, Mr. King's been doing a good job.
Oh, yeah.
Mowing of the parks, keeping them in order, picking
Yep.
up the trash.
Well, and
And if you have a few words, Steve, go ahead.
We try to preserve as many trees as we can. We don't,
Good.
we don't mess with them unless they're endangering public safety, or that's the only time we mess with them.
and we lost some at Curtis Park and Forest Hills Park, Brian, as you well know,
Yeah.
very well know. It ripped through your area.
Yep.
We can't count on Mother Nature she's not going to read our 5-year Park and Recreation Master Plan.
She don't care.
So she doesn't care, so.
If we can just try and maintain that we are Tree City friendly, that would be a great step forward, and I think really preserve the heritage of our nature, of our natural resources here in the town.
Very good idea.
That's all I've got, Madam Chairman.
Okay. If everybody is agreeable, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second?
And a second. Meeting
Second.
adjourned. Thank you all for attending. Have a good evening.